Smartphone addiction. Not going to gym. Oh, interesting. Some of you are already thinking about going to gym. That's pretty good. Today's masterclass, Curiosity Masterclass, is going to be about building a habit. In chat, write down, hey, what is a good habit that all of you have? Okay, so many of you are writing different things. Okay, not messing up. Okay, some says study, sport, some says dance, scratch, doing scratch. I'm going to call out one or two and then I want you all to tell me if it's a habit or not. Okay, doing scratch. Is that a good habit or not? Or rather, is that a habit? The question is that a habit? Some of you are like yes, some of you are like no, you're a little confused. Some of you agree, some of you don't. It's like 50-50. Well, the answer is that's actually not a habit. Doing something like scratch or doing something like singing, dancing, these are like skills and these are hobbies. Even I used to think these were habits, but that's not a habit. A habit is something that you do recurringly no matter what. It's almost like it's like autopilot. I think brushing my teeth in the morning, that's the most common habit. I thankfully, anyone here who doesn't brush their teeth in the morning, if you don't, please start doing it. One person said packing your bag every day the previous night. That's a habit. That's like you're recurringly doing the same thing again and again. That's a nice habit. Sleeping early and waking up early is a habit because you're daily doing it. So you see the theme, it's a recurring thing, right? So something that's autopilot, something where your brain just tells you, like you don't have to think, you don't have to convince your brain to do. Like, brushing your teeth in the morning, right? That's an actual habit. Tell me a bad habit that you're like, sir, this habit, I somehow want to get rid of it. I've been trying, but it's not going. Smartphone addiction. Yeah. Laziness. Biting nails is a good example of a bad habit. Sitting on the bed and studying, yeah. Procrastinating, nice. Getting distracted, nice. Smartphone addiction. Namish is like joining masterclasses late. I need to figure this out. Yeah, good thing, Namish. Not going to gym. Oh, interesting. Some of you are already thinking about going to gym. That's pretty good. Like I can see all of you are like pretty self-aware. What's your good habits and bad habits? So that's good. Yeah, mine also are very similar. Procrastination is technically a bad habit. I have this habit of checking YouTube. I don't know how many of you go on YouTube. So the first, I don't know, distraction I want, the first thing I do is open my phone and check YouTube, right? So going to YouTube is like a bad habit that I want to get rid of. It's not that YouTube is bad. It's just that sometimes the amount of time you end up spending on it is so long that it's unhealthy, right? YouTube in general is fine as long as you use it in moderation, right? But yeah, I do feel I use YouTube more than I should be using. Some of you said smartphone. I'm guessing for some of you, YouTube. Some of you maybe Discord. Some of you, I don't know what else you use on your phone. Gaming. Yeah, gaming is whoa. Someone games from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on holidays. Whoa, bro, chill. Like that's a lot. A little bit is fine, but like too much is not good. So all of you are aware of your bad habits, right? And okay, cool. Are all of you also in the same page? Or like, sir, I have a bad habit, but I like this bad habit. I want to leave it like this. Or are you like, no, I need to change. I need to stop. I need to make a difference. Any of you over here, tell me in chat, like, do you want to actually keep your bad habit or do you want to change your habit? Do you want to like break your bad habit? Change it. Thank God. All of you are like, okay, change it. That's good. Some of you are like, I don't want to change it. I want to keep it in control. If you keep it in control, it's no longer a bad habit. Say YouTube, if you're keeping it under control, then it's no longer a bad habit because I'm pretty sure learning a lot from it and things like that. So this masterclass, I'm not going to talk about breaking bad habits, okay? Because breaking bad habits is a little harder actually, honestly. I'll come to that. I'll do probably a different masterclass on how to break bad habits. But I'm going to focus more on how to build good habits, right? Okay, we are aware of our bad habits. Now tell me in chat, one good habit that you don't have right now that you wish you had. Studying. Everyone's like studying. Drinking water. Interesting. Concentration. Painting. Studying concentration seems to be like extremely common. Almost all of you are like, sir, I want to study more. I want to build this habit. Is that right? I want to build this habit. Show me a thumbs up if I'm understanding it right. I want to build this habit of studying every day regularly. Many of you, yes, some of you know, but some of you, I guess, already have this habit. That's fine. And some of you are like, okay, sir, now even if I study, I need to build this habit of concentration. How do I make sure I concentrate and don't get distracted? That's like the second most common thing. Now, you know what? I want you to open this presentation I shared with you. What is a good habit that you choose? Okay, cool. You're saying studying. Okay, studying more frequently. It's a good habit. So I'm going to type that out. Okay, what do I want to build? Okay, studying. Procrastination. I'll make it, okay, building the habit of using Pomodoros. So now that you know why you want to build this habit, many times what happens is we're actually bad at deciding what habits we want to build. We think that some of the habits that we want are actually good for us, But the honest answer is many times we're just bad at predicting what habits are actually good for us. Let me share an example, a poll, right? By the way, this is one of my friend's stories, like actual friend. You know Ram, some of you might know Ram, right? So my friend Ram, he goes, plays badminton, realizes he's not able to do well at all. He's bad at it. So therefore he decides to go to the gym to get fitter at this. That's the habit that he wants to build. How many of you think that's a good habit to build for this goal? Some of you are saying yes, most of you are saying no. So why is that? So if you ask me, I'll also personally say no. Because it doesn't feel right? Hey, how is going to the gym going to help you get better at badminton? It feels like a very top of the mind thing, like, oh, okay, cool. Like, hey, I think I need to get fitter, therefore I'm going to go to the gym, therefore I'll get better at badminton. Right? That doesn't make sense, right? So the reason I'm asking you to say this is many times we impulsively come up and think that, hey, you know what? I'm going to build this habit. It's going to change my life. I'm going to build this habit of learning speed mathematics. It's going to change my life. Or I'm going to learn this habit of reading every day. I'm going to spend 10 minutes reading every day and it's going to change my life. I'm going to become I'm going to become amazing at concentration and amazing at this. The problem is many times that's not really true. And how do you figure this out? How do you really understand whether this habit that you want to build is actually going to help you or not? For that, the first strategy I'm going to teach you is called the 5 whys. It's called the 5 whys, okay? 5 whys, W-H-Y, 5 whys. So before you jump into building a habit, in this case you were saying studying every day. Before you jump into that habit, the first process I want you to think about is think about why exactly you want to build that habit. Okay? And then ask another why. And then ask another way. So for example, I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to type in something. Okay. So many of you said a wish habit. One of the habits that you want is to study every day. Okay, cool. Study every day. So is this a good habit or not? First of all, let's check if this is aligned with our goals. Okay. Which goal will this habit help you achieve? Why don't you tell me in chat? Many of you get good grades, get good marks. Okay, cool. I'll take some of your common answers. First one is I'm going to see is get better marks. What's the next one? Why this goal? The third way. How is getting better marks going to help you? What's your answer? Improve knowledge, acquire knowledge, not to anger the teacher, to achieve my goal, to get better knowledge. So I like this. This is the most common. So get better knowledge, get more knowledge. But why get more knowledge? I'm going to ask more ways. Why stop there? What's the point of getting more knowledge? Why do you want to get knowledge? Some of you are to never be dumb or interesting, to become a scientist, to become a wise person, to become successful, to have experience, to be successful. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to stick to successful. I'm going to go to the next line and say, okay, you're saying you want to get knowledge to be more successful. But tell me one more way. Why do you want to be successful? To become Albert Einstein. Get more money. Oh, make more money to be happy in life. I like some of your answers. It's interesting, but you have to dive deeper there. So I'll keep to be happy in life. Okay. You see what I did there? First, the habit you want to build is what? To study every day. To build a habit of studying every day. Right? Every day you want to study. But why do you want to study? To get better marks. Okay. Why do you want to get better marks? To get more knowledge. Sounds good. Why do you want to get more knowledge? Well, you want to be successful. You want to be successful in what you do. And then finally, why do you want to be successful? You want to be happy. You want to be happy and content. The point is, honestly, okay, do you really think studying every day is going to lead to happiness in life? There's a question there. I'll come to that. But it's not necessary. Well, it's a good starting point. It's not really necessary that if your objective is to say, even to get more knowledge, studying every day might not be the best. Right? There are other ways and so on. But it's a good start. I would still say this is a good example. It's a good example of a habit that you want to build that's more aligned to your goals. Right? So why am I bringing this out is because your habit should be aligned to your goals. In this case, it is aligned to your goals. You want to study every day, and why? That will make you ultimately successful. So this is a good habit that's aligned to your goals. Why? Because you ask the deeper ways. Okay, this is why you want to do, this is why you want to do, this is why you want to do. Now let's take the same bad example. Remember the one where Ram decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym to get better at badminton. What was wrong there? If you're going to go to the gym, why do you want to go to the gym? Right? You probably want to go to the gym to be fitter, to feel better, to feel good, to have lesser, medical problems, to be overall happy, both for your mental happiness and your physical happiness. That's a really good goal for which going to the gym every day is a good habit. But if you want to get better at badminton, a better habit is to play badminton every day, or get coached for badminton every day, or go to some class every day. Right? That habit is better. Right? That's a very common, simple, bad example of a habit that's not aligned to a goal. Whereas studying every day in order to succeed and get marks and get better is a good example. Right? So the first insight or the first takeaway from this is we are generally bad at predicting what habits is good for our goals. Now the question is, okay, sir, how do you build a good habit? All this is fine. How do you actually do and build a good habit. Let's start by taking a nice example. What habit do I want to build? I want to exercise every day, right? Or I want to exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Well, the first thing I decided to do is I want to, hey, you know what? I'm going to wake up and go to the gym 1 hour every day. That's the first thing I decided to do. That's like, okay, that's how I'm going to keep my habit. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good strategy? Yes. 70% believe that this is a good strategy. Nice. Okay, I agree with you. This is probably what I would have done. Right? I mean, I also tried doing it. But this comes to my second point. We are very, very bad at building good habits. Our brains are generally bad at doing good things, okay? It's bad at telling us what makes us happy also. It's very bad. I'll come to that in a separate point. But so why is this bad? I'll tell you what will happen. You create such a large goal for yourself that you're like, hey, every day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go spend 1 hour at the gym every day, and you start. But then the moment it happens, the next day your alarm rings, you wake up at 7 o'clock, you're going to go tell yourself, no, I don't want to wake up right now. I want to sleep. Sleep is so beautiful. Why is this alarm waking me up? And then you're just going to go back to sleep. You're not going to do that, right? Or maybe you'll try, and you go back to sleep, and then you wake up a little later and you tell yourself, oh my God, you're waste. You should have done this. Shouldn't you have woken up? You probably shout at yourself, and then try the next day. And then you again fail, and you try. This happened all the time. What are the mistakes we're making? Why is this happening? Has this ever happened to you, by the way? Not necessarily by exercising. So if you want to build another habit, have you tried like this and failed? I'll just show you one more nice poll. Arjun is like me, he's tried to quit spending time on YouTube. 2% of you has chosen all of these. I would have chosen the second option. His method of quitting were unscientific. There's no such thing as your brain is too weak or you're too immature or there's no willpower. Say you want to build a good habit, the most common answer is you're not able to do it. Hey, you're lazy, man. You can't get up. That's your problem. Or if you want to go, if you want to study every day or you want to do this thing, the most common answer is you just don't have any willpower. There's no way you're going to achieve this because you're just lazy. It's like saying you have bad virtues. That's not true. Willpower is not the only way to solve problems. There are scientific ways using which you can solve problems. The reason he was not able to quit or the reason he was not able to build a good habit is because he was not using proven techniques. He was most likely just trying to use his willpower and push himself, right? So instead, if I were him, I would use scientific techniques. Now, I'm going to come to our technique number 1. Okay, the first technique, how to build a good habit. It's called chunking. You can call it chunking, or you can say there are different ways. Let's call it chunking for now. It's simple. So break it down into small chunks. First, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym 1 hour. That's a huge thing for your brain. Your brain is going to feel like, oh my God, that's crazy. So it's not easy for your brain to prepare yourself and do a 1 hour workout, right? Or a 1 hour reading session every day. It's not going to happen. So what you do is you break it down. You break it down into small chunks. And there are 3 main ways to break it down into small chunks. Okay. Number 1 is called the starter step. So if it's something like, say, working out, tell yourself instead of you're going to work out for 1 hour, tell yourself that you're just going to get up and wear your running shoes. So let's say you want to go running every day. So I'm going to get up and wear my running shoes. That's it. Keep it at a specific time. Okay. So let's say you want to work out. This is important though. So you're basically trying to program your brain to make it autopilot. Now, when will this become autopilot? When the same thing happens again and again and again at the same time, right? At the same regular interval, preferably daily. Daily is important. The first thing you need to do is chunk it down into the starter step, right? So, like I said, if it's running, 6 p.m. every day, you wear your shoes. That's it. You don't even have to go running. Just do wearing your shoes. Wearing your shoes and go to YouTube is fine. Or just wear your shoes and go eat something, it's fine, but just wear your shoes. It is called the starter step technique. Why is this important? I'll tell you. Because every day your brain will now get used to, at that point, just wearing your running shoes. Right? That's important. That will break that first inertia. Right? By the way, I'll give you more examples. Now, if you want to read for studying, you want to study every day. So every day at 6 p.m., open your text. Don't keep a goal of, okay, so every day at 6 p.m., I'm going to study for 1 hour. Don't keep that goal because, again, your brain is going to be like, oh God, this is too hard. Just take me to YouTube already. Instead, tell your brain that all you have to do is open your book every day at 6 p.m. And just open your book. It's fine. Even if you don't study, it's okay. Just open your book. So once you open your book at 6 p.m., celebrate that. That's the other thing. So you need to give your brain rewards. Your brain has to feel good. Only then you'll feel like doing it again and again. Right? So every day at 6 p.m., open your book and pat yourself at the back and say, hey, good job. You opened your book. Right? So that's number 1, starter step. Number 2 is called like shrinking it. It's basically shrinking the task. So instead of thinking 1 hour of studying, think 10 minutes of studying. Hey, every day at 6 p.m., I'm just going to study my textbook for 10 minutes, right? Just tell yourself that. That's it. It's okay if you study more, if you study less, no issues. But just make sure you chunk it in such a small way, right? So this way, of course, you can stop with the starter step or you can do both or you can do just one. Either, both are fine. This is another way of chunking it so that your brain doesn't feel too intimidated. Right? Basically, what you're trying to do is you're not trying to scare your brain. So you don't want to scare your brain. You want to tell your brain, you know what? I'm just going to take it chill, take it slow. Every day at 6 p.m., you just have to do 10 minutes. So this greatly reduces your inertia. And more importantly, the more you do it, the higher chance of it becoming a habit. So what you should not do is tell yourself 1 hour, tell yourself only 10 minutes, right? To start off with. What do you think is number 2? Number 2, and this is probably the most important tip, it's called anchoring. You got to anchor your new habit to an old habit. What do you mean by anchoring? You have existing habits, right, that you already do. You tell your brain, okay, the moment I finish this habit, I'm going to do this. I'll give you an example. I'm going to work out for 10 minutes every day after I brush my teeth. Instead of telling yourself, I'm going to work out every morning, you tell your brain, after I brush my teeth, I'm going to work out for 10 minutes. You see the difference? Why is this easy for your brain? Because your brain already is like on autopilot when it's brushing your teeth. It's like you wake up, the first thing you do is you're brushing your teeth. The moment you start anchoring and chaining it to this new habit to the previous habit, it's easier for it to remember that you have to do this new thing that you want to do. Another example might be, I watch a particular show. Shows are good. I watch a show at 6 p.m. The moment that show is over, I'm going to study for 10 minutes. That's a nice example, right? That I do this all the time. There's another example where I want to meditate. So the moment I finish my lunch, I want to meditate for 10 minutes. Right? These are all good examples of anchoring and chaining. So that second tip to build a new habit, right? Once you've chunked it into a small chunk, not a very large chunk. The second tip is to anchor it or chain it to an existing habit. Now, so remember you told me something that, some new habit that you wanted to build. Now, I want you to think about an anchor that you want to anchor it to. So tell me in chat. Playing badminton. That's nice. After play cricket, drinking water, playing cricket. So a good anchor has to happen at the same time every day. Right? So if it specifically says studying every day, that's what you want to build. So it's in the evening or something. If you already have an existing class that you do, like maybe a StayQrious class or any other class that you go for, anchor it to that because that's a habit that you've already built. So you can tell yourself, hey, the moment this class finishes, I will start studying or I will study for 10 minutes. Right? So put both together, step number 1 and step number 2. So anchor it to an existing habit that you have. And this habit has to be recurring. So henceforth, anytime you want to build a good habit, these are 2 techniques that you should keep in mind. Hey, okay, so chunking and then chaining or anchoring. Okay, sir, I got this. Okay, now how do I do this? When do I start? How do I begin this? And what common mistakes? I'm going to ask you some polls. Answer if this is correct or wrong. Is this a good example of anchoring? So I want to build this habit of cleaning my bike. I'm going to tell myself every time I brush my teeth, I'm going to go clean my bike. Many of you are saying no, but why though? Well, the answer is that it's not going to work because space-wise, it's very far away. No? Chaining is not going to work if, you know what, you're going to brush your teeth, walk some 5 minutes downstairs and then clean your bike. It's not going to work. Your brain is like, no, chill, it's not easy. You know? It has to be very close. It has to be very immediate. So if it's brushing your teeth, it should be like, hey, okay, I need to brush my teeth and then do something immediately. Like, I need to brush my teeth and drink water. That's a nice habit to build. So I brush my teeth and drink water every single time. Now that's a good anchor or a good chain because all you have to do is just brush your teeth, go to your kitchen or go to your room and drink water. So one thing while keeping anchoring, right? One issue for anchoring is that your anchor or your chaining should not be too far apart in terms of space. This is a second example. Hey, I want to build this habit of ordering groceries. Why? Because I don't order groceries on time. I always forget. So for that, I'm going to order every time I eat, every time I have a meal. What do you think? Well, the answer is that the anchor habit is a daily habit, right? The eating is a daily habit, but ordering something or ordering groceries is a habit that you need to build once a week. So the frequency of the anchor, the frequency of the habit you want to build is not in sync. That's the problem. That has to be in sync. You can't keep ordering every day. If you don't order every day, your brain is going to be like, hey, what's wrong with this? What is wrong with this fellow? He suddenly keeps ordering sometimes after eating he doesn't order. It has to be something that you can consistently do after your anchor. It can't be intermittent and therefore the frequency has to match. You can't have a weekly habit and a daily habit you can't anchor together. Right? That's the tip number 2 for anchoring. Tell me in chat what do you think is wrong. Pranav is like push-ups in the bathroom is weird. Yeah, I really like your answers. Like Pranav said, it is a little weird to do push-ups in the bathroom. You can't tell your brain, hey, the moment I brush my teeth, immediately you do push-ups. It doesn't work. You got to tell your brain exactly what you need to do. Okay, the moment you do push-ups, I'm going to close the bathroom door, go out to my room and do 2 push-ups. Be very specific. It's like almost like programming your brain. It's like giving instructions to your brain. Your brain likes very specific instructions. It cannot remember things that's not specific. So the third tip while anchoring is that make it very, very specific. That will make the anchoring more effective. So these are the tips that I had for building great habits. Okay, so let's recap quickly. The first chunk that we spoke about, what is the habit? Number two, how do you make sure that your habit is actually aligned to your goal? How do you do that? By asking whys. You can ask, it's called the 3 whys, 5 whys. You keep asking, hey, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do this? Are you absolutely sure you want to do this habit? Is it aligned to your goal? Right? That's like the first chunk. The second chunk, how do you build good habits? To build good habits, called chunking. Chunk it into smaller chunks. Don't think too big. Don't think like, hey, okay, 1 hour I'm going to study, 2 hours I'm going to study. Don't think like that. Make it smaller chunks. When it comes to chunking, there are 2 specific techniques I spoke about. What is that? First is the starter step. Second one is the shrink it down. Yeah. While chunking, think of the starter step. Think about, okay, only the first step. Okay, I'm going to tell myself to do that. Or shrink it down or do both. Don't start directly with the whole thing. Most often will not work. Alright, that's the chunking part. The second one, what's the next point that I spoke about? Chaining or anchoring. That is, anchor your new habit that you want to build to a specific habit that you already have. Perfect. That is good. When it comes to anchoring, what's the first problem? Make sure that space-wise, it can't be, hey, the anchor is in the first floor, but the habit is in the ground floor. Doesn't work. It has to be space-wise very close. Right? You should be able to do it close to the first habit. Number 2, frequency. The frequency of the anchor and this shouldn't match. You can't have a habit that's like a weekly frequency, but that you want to anchor it or chain it to a daily frequency. Alright? And the last one, you need to be more specific. Tell your brain exactly what you need to do. If not, your brain is not going to listen to you. So why are these important? These have been scientifically proven to help and build habits. Right? These are like very solid techniques that will definitely build habits. Now, the last question. How long do you need to keep doing something in order to actually build a habit? 15 days, something like forever, daily I understand, but how long? How long daily? 5 to 6 days, 21 days, 63 days. Tell research. The answer is 2 months. You need 2 months to build a habit. Okay, I know for some of you it might be intimidating. Don't worry. That's why you start slow. I know it feels like a lot, but yeah, take small chunks, take things like starters and things like that. But if you do the same thing, whether either it's weekly or it's daily, if it's a habit, if you keep doing it for 2 months, the moment you do it for 2 months, you don't have to do it. You don't have to think about it after that. Your brain will just do it automatically. Right? You don't have to worry about whether you need to push yourself to do it. Right? So 2 months is the answer.